Dear IAP members, dear prosecutors, trainees, dear colleagues, my name is Willems. I work at Free Press Unlimited. I used to be the director here and currently I am the Senior Advisor International Partnerships. It is a pleasure and I would like to thank the International Association of Prosecutors to have me today because we think training in prosecuting crimes against journalists is something that is urgently needed, and Free Press Unlimited really welcomes the opportunity to speak to you. It needs little explanation, we think, why investigating crimes against journalists is necessary. Independent information is indispensable in the democratic framework to ensure that the public has an access to fact-based quality journalism. But this can only take place when the legal and enabling environment for the protection of journalists is sound. That is why freedom of expression is enshrined in the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Article 19. It's why, for example, in the Sustainable Development Agenda of the United Nations, the safety of journalists and access to information is one of the goals under SDG 16. And it's also why many regional courts and the Human Rights Commission of the UN in Geneva have special attention for crimes against journalists. Paradoxically, most crimes against journalists happen in states where the freedom of expression is enshrined in the Constitution. So when crimes against journalists are rampant, we think it is an indication that other factors are actually at play here. Because if the rights are formally guaranteed, then apparently something is going wrong in implementation. Since 2016, according to data gathered by UNESCO, the number of murders of investigation reporters outranks the death toll of journalists that report on war or conflict. The investigation code of practice of journalists prohibits them from disclosing their sources. This allows them to make public government or criminal malpractices that hinder the public interest. And in that sense, journalism is a public service. And in that sense, journalism is an independent pillar, independent of the trias politica. Many governments and their security agencies respect this code of practice and respect the fact that journalists don't disclose their sources. But regrettably, during episodes of democratic backsliding, this form of independent journalism is often the first that suffers from attack and political pressure or threats from organized crime, especially in the digital age. That is why Free Press Unlimited, we think and have found that if you want to investigate crimes against journalists, the stories that they were working on in their investigations is an important lead for prosecutors and investigators to find perpetrators that are responsible for the crime. In 2019, Free Press Unlimited started the Safer World for the Truth project in cooperation with CPJ and RSF. Our aim was to investigate cold cases of journalist murder because we were hoping to find new clues and new evidence and maybe succeed in reopening cases that were of particular public importance. Recently we published an impunity report about that, and the findings are worrying, but there's also hope. Investigations into murder of journalists often are biased and ineffective. Journalistic work is often not viewed as a potential motive for the murder. And when the journalistic work is considered as a potential motive, it's often unclear how to investigate that motive. We find that on the basis of comprehensive data, the journalist murders have a better chance of successful prosecution and justice when investigations are conducted by a central, federal investigative unit or by a specialized homicide police department. We've also been able to reinvigorate cold murder cases in multiple countries. This tells us something really important, and that is that the impunity rates are not fixed numbers. Impunity in crimes against journalists can decrease with the right knowledge and with the right efforts. For this reason, Free Press Unlimited applauds the International Association of Prosecutors and UNESCO's efforts in training prosecutors all over the world. We also applaud the collaboration between Free Press Unlimited and AIP and look forward to presenting more of our findings in June. I'm convinced that together we can improve the prosecution of crimes against journalists and protect democracy where it is most vulnerable. Thank you very much for your attention.